Everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive deep and demystify how you can build applications that are genuinely intelligent. And I'm not talking about just, simple chatbots. We're talking about weaving AI right into the core of your software to make it smarter from the inside out, and we'll see how it's all powered by Oracle's amazing AI toolkit.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with what I call the AI application puzzle, basically why this is so tricky in the first place. Then, we'll look at each piece of the solution one by one. We'll start with an AI copilot for developers, then see how we can let users talk directly to their data, and finally, we'll put all those pieces together to see what a truly intelligent experience actually looks like.
All right, first up, the AI application puzzle. Let's get right into it and explore why, with all this AI hype flying around, most of the applications we use every day still don't feel all that, smart.
So what's the big deal? Why is this so hard? Well, it turns out there are these major friction points that exist between a fantastic business idea and the software that's supposed to bring it to life. And it's not just one big wall. It's more like a series of distinct gaps that we have to cross.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, because the problem breaks down into these four key challenges. First, there's the translation gap. A simple business need like, show me my top-selling products, has to be painstakingly translated into lines of complex SQL code. Then you've got the efficiency gap, where developers are burning hours just looking up syntax or debugging. Next is the huge data literacy gap, which stops non-technical folks from just asking a simple question and getting an answer from their data. And finally, think about it, so much of a company's real wisdom is just locked away, completely inaccessible in unstructured documents like PDFs and reports.
Okay, so how do we start fixing this puzzle? Well, the first step is to empower the people who build the apps, the developers. We need to give them an AI copilot that's specifically built to bridge those first two gaps we talked about, translation and efficiency.
And that's where something like the Oracle Apex AI Assistant comes in. Now, this isn't just some chatbot you tack onto the side of your screen. No, this is deeply woven into the entire app development process. You can almost think of it as this smart orchestrator that connects the structure of your database, its metadata, with the incredible power of a large language model.
And this is where the power really shines through, in three amazing ways. First, you can just describe an app. You can say, hey, build me something to track my company vehicles. And boom, it starts creating the tables and pages for you. It's wild. Second, it can write really complex database queries from a simple sentence. And third, if you're stuck on some buggy code, it can actually help you find the error and suggest a fix.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how does this magic actually happen without, sending all my private data out into the ether? Well, it's this really clever 5-step workflow. First, you, the developer, just type in what you want in plain English. Then, Apex intelligently gathers the structure of your database. We're talking just the table and column names, not your actual data. It securely sends only that structural blueprint and your prompt to the AI. The AI then sends back the generated code, and finally, Apex presents it to you to check and use.
And I really want to double down on this next point, because it's absolutely crucial for any business. Security. Let me say that again. Your actual business data, your customer list, your financial reports, all of it, never leaves the safety of your Oracle database. Only the structural blueprint, the metadata, gets sent out to give the AI context.
All right, so we've given the developers a superpower. That's a huge step. But what about everyone else? What about the end users? How do we solve that data literacy gap and let everyone in the organization get the answers they need from their data?
And this is where a feature called Autonomous AI Database Select AI becomes a total game changer. It's a feature that means any user, from an executive meeting to an analyst out in the field, can literally just ask the database questions in plain English, just like you'd ask a person.
I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? On the one hand, the old way. You need a specialist who knows SQL inside and out. It's slow, it's a bottleneck. And on the other hand, the new way. Anybody can ask a question, the AI does the heavy lifting, and suddenly everyone has access to the answers they need right now.
Okay, but what happens when you have more complex conversations? That's where the Oracle Digital Assistant comes in. The best way to think about it is like an incredibly smart switchboard for specialized chatbots, which are called skills. So if a user asks something like, what's my account balance? And hey, can I also get a status on my last order? The assistant is smart enough to understand those are two different requests. It'll seamlessly route the banking question to the finance skill and the order question to the logistics skill, all while keeping it one smooth conversation for the user.
All right, we've covered developers, we've covered users talking to data. Now for that last massive piece of the puzzle, all that incredible knowledge that's trapped inside your company's documents. I'm talking about all those reports, technical manuals, and contracts that hold the real corporate brainpower.
So, the technology that makes this possible is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or you'll hear it called RAG for short. And honestly, this is the secret sauce that makes generative AI actually trustworthy for a business. Instead of pulling answers from the public internet, RAG forces the AI to base its answers on your company's own private knowledge base. That means you get accurate, context-aware answers every single time.
And the way it works is beautifully simple, really. It's just 3 steps. A user asks a question in plain language. Then, the AI agent searches through all your private indexed documents to find the most relevant snippets of information. Finally, it uses only those snippets to put together a clear, accurate answer. And get this, it'll often even give you citations pointing you right back to the exact page in the document where it found the info. So cool.
And this is why it matters so much. You're essentially creating this secure, closed-loop system of knowledge. You're not rolling the dice with AI hallucinations or getting answers from some random website from 2010. You are securely querying your own private corporate library and turning all those static documents into a dynamic, conversational knowledge base.
Okay, time to put it all together. Let's take that developer copilot, the natural language data queries, and that document intelligence, and see what the complete picture of a truly intelligent application really looks like when it all works in concert.
You know, this quote here really says it all. What we're talking about isn't just another little upgrade. It's not just a faster version of the old thing. It's a complete redefinition of how we interact with our apps, our data, and all of our collective knowledge.
So here's the whole toolkit in a nutshell. See how each piece has a very specific job to do? You've got the Apex AI Assistant, which is there for the developers, wiping out those translation and efficiency gaps. For your users, you have Select AI and the Digital Assistant to bridge that data literacy gap. And finally, for the entire enterprise, RAG and AI agents go to work unlocking all that knowledge trapped in your documents. It all works together to create one intelligent, seamless experience.
Now, of course, we all know that in the real world, things don't always work perfectly on the first try, right? So this is a super helpful look at some common issues and how to fix them. A great example is if the AI seems to be hallucinating or getting confused. A lot of the time, that's just because your table or column names are a little ambiguous, like STSCD. The fix is so simple. Just add clear comments right into your database schema, like status code, 1 equals active, 0 equals inactive. That little bit of context is all the AI needs to generate perfect code.
So what have we seen today? We've seen how these massive barriers, the barrier between an idea and code, between a user and their data, between a question and a document, are all just dissolving. The old friction is being replaced by intelligent, natural conversation. And that really leaves us with one final, powerful question. When you can build powerful software simply by describing it, what will you create? Thanks so much for joining me.